Hello and welcome to this information session for the Arts and Disability Connect funding scheme. My name is Róisín Power Hackett and I am the Programme Support Officer at Arts and Disability Ireland. Arts and Disability Ireland, also known as ADI, is the national development and resource organisation for arts and disability in Ireland. ADI describe ourselves as championing the creativity of arts and disabilities and promoting inclusive experiences for audiences with disabilities. We do this in partnership with the arts sector. On today's session, we will be talking about the Arts and Disability Connect scheme. We have Irish Sign Language interpreter Aoife Harrington from Bridge Interpreting, and captioning provided by Stage Text. Throughout the presentation, I am going to read the text on the slides and I will give brief image descriptions. So today I'm going to talk about the scheme, the New Work Award, the Research and Reflection Award, the Mentoring Award, and the Training Award. I'm going to talk about who the scheme is for, about eligibility, and I'm going to talk about the different types of awards. I will give you examples of artists who have received funding. I will also talk a little bit about the types of support that applicants and people working with applicants can receive. So let's get started. The Arts and Disability Connect scheme is funded by the Arts Council on Corla Alien and managed by Arts and Disability Ireland. Since its inception in 2014, the scheme has supported 197 awards led by artists with disabilities across a range of art forms. In 2025, Arts and Disability Connect will distribute approximately €120,000 to artists with disabilities across Round 1 and Round 2. The scheme is designed to support artists to be ambitious, to develop their practice, and to connect with arts organisations and art professionals in the Republic of Ireland. This year, the Arts and Disability Connect scheme has 2 rounds. Round 1 opens on Monday the 24th of March and closes on Wednesday the 7th of May at 4 p.m. Round 2 opens on Monday the 18th of August and closes on Tuesday the 7th of October at 4 p.m. In both rounds, you can apply for either the New Work Award, the Research and Reflection Award, the Mentoring Award, or the Training Award. adiarts.ie/connect is where you can find all of the application forms, the guidelines, the easy read information, and the frequently asked questions. We recommend you read the guidelines of the awards you are applying for carefully. This is what the web page looks like at the moment. You can scroll down to find the application forms and guidelines, which are there in blue font. You can download and save these files to your device. So who is the scheme for? It's for individual artists with disabilities. It's for professional artists at all stages of their career. It's for artists who live in the Republic of Ireland. And it's for artists working in the following art forms: architecture, circus, dance, film, literature, music, opera, street art and spectacle, theatre, traditional arts, and visual art. Please note, it is not for people who have a craft or design practice only. Are you eligible to apply? The Arts Council and Arts and Disability Ireland take our definition of disability from the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. This states, persons with disabilities include those who have long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairments which, in interaction with various barriers, may hinder their full and effective participation in society on an equal basis with others. You will see in the application forms, you will be asked to make a declaration. So, using this definition, are you a person with a disability? To be eligible for the scheme, you need to tick the box, yes. Access. What are access requirements? Access requirements are things that take away any barriers that might stop you from completing your proposal. Below are some examples of access requirements. An artist with a physical impairment may need a venue, rehearsal space, or meeting space to have a level and/or lift access. If an artist experiences anxiety, they may ask their presenting partner to respond to emails within one working day. An artist with an intellectual disability may need to work one-on-one with one person over a longer period of time. A deaf artist may need an Irish Sign Language ISL interpreter to communicate with the cast and crew while rehearsing for a performance. While some access requirements may incur additional costs, others may have no costs. What are personal access costs? If you have access requirements that incur costs, you can now apply for personal access costs. Personal access costs are costs that remove barriers for you or other collaborators with disabilities who are involved in delivering your proposal. These costs will be additional to any funding which you are awarded. There is now a separate personal access cost budget in our application forms that you can fill in if you have personal access costs. Here are some examples of personal access costs. Alternative formats: audio, braille, large print, etc. Irish Sign Language ISL interpreters, loop systems in rehearsal or gallery spaces, personal assistants, speech to text, sighted guides, transcriber for playwriting, literature, etc., accessible travel, taxis, accessible meeting, rehearsal, or studio space. For example, toilets, wide doors, lifts, ramps, quiet spaces, etc. Accommodation, subsistence, and travel for personal assistance. Personal access requirements might mean you need extra time to complete your proposed activity. This may mean you might incur extra costs such as rental costs and fees for cast, crew, or collaborators, rehearsing performances or installing exhibitions, etc. Example of a personal access budget. This is an example of a personal access budget. To apply for these costs, fill in the personal access budget, which is after the activity budget, in the application form. You must write each type of access requirement on a separate line and the amount it will cost in the column next to it. Then add up all the personal access costs and fill in the total box. You will need to include in your supporting documentation a separate document detailing personal access costs for you or your collaborators, outlining how they have been arrived at. You don't have to apply for personal access costs if you don't need them. You can leave the personal access cost budget blank. Please read the What are personal access costs section of the awards guidelines which you are applying for. What are public access costs? Public access costs are costs enabling people with disabilities to attend, view, or engage with the outcome of your proposal, such as captioning for a performance or audio description of an exhibition. These public access costs must be included in the main activity budget for your proposal, not in the personal access cost budget. Next, I'm going to talk about the 4 different award types. The 4 strands are the New Work Award, where you can apply for up to €15,000. The Research and Reflection Award, where you can apply for up to €5,000. The Mentoring Award, where you can apply for up to €3,000. The Training Award, where you can apply for up to €1,000. First, I will talk about the New Work Award. For a New Work Award, artists can apply for up to €15,000. This award is for artists with a strong track record in their professional practice. The minimum amount you can apply for is €8,000. For this award, you will need to make and present ambitious new work to an audience with the support of a presenting partner. Presenting partners can include arts organisations, venues, arts centres, or arts festivals in the Republic of Ireland. I will give you some examples of who those presenting partners can be in a moment. In 2025, there will be one new work award awarded in round 1 and one new work award awarded in round 2. The funding can cover your fees, your audience access costs, your travel costs in the Republic of Ireland, other artist and collaborator fees, production fees, and production costs. Here is an example of an artist who received a new work award. Bridget O'Gorman is a visual artist and writer who partnered with Tulka Festival of Visual Arts. Bridget presented Support Work, an ambitious sculptural installation and collection of texts exploring access, support, and creative collaborations at Tulka 2023 in Galway. Tulka Festival of Visual Arts provided her with curatorial and technical support, marketing and professional photography of her work. On screen, there is a grey concrete floor, a close-up image of Bridget O'Gorman's artwork at Tulka Festival of Visual Arts. The artwork is minimal visually. It consists of a long white plaster stick and disco ball remnants laying underneath it, with what appears to be a bubble gum bubble. Here is another example of an artist who received a new work award. HK Nishiradon is a Dublin-based theatre maker. In partnership with New Theatre and with the support of Rough Magic and creative producer Lisa Nally, HK presented the comedy musical Beards. The performance tells a farcical tale of hope and resilience about a brother and sister who are both gay in the Middle Ages. On screen is a photo of 4 actors wearing colourful clothes on a stage. The actor in the foreground is lying down, leaning against steps, heavily pregnant. She is holding hands with an actor behind her. 2 other actors are standing up in the background. Next, I will talk about the Research and Reflection Award. For the Research and Reflection Award, you can apply for up to €5,000. This funding is to help you think, research, reflect, and critically engage with your practice. It can also be used to start new relationships with presenting partners to submit a new work application in the future, and to create other strategic partnerships with arts organisations and arts professionals for future development. The unusual thing about this award is that your fees can be up to 100% of the award itself, if that's what you need at this moment. The focus of this award is on buying time for you so that you can cultivate and think about your practice and research in order to create work. It is important to note that the purpose of this award is not to present new work. You may trial or test ideas amongst peers or closed audience groups, but you cannot have a final presentation as part of the Research and Reflection Award. In 2025, there will be 6 Research and Reflection Awards funded in round 1 and 6 Research and Reflection Awards funded in round 2. This funding can cover your fees, your materials, your travel costs in the Republic of Ireland, other artists and collaborator fees, if that's applicable. Here is an example of an artist who previously received a Research and Development Award, as it was formerly known. Owen O'Malley is a visual artist from Wicklow. Owen used this award to research and develop themes. He worked on a series of storm paintings. He worked with videographer Luke Brabazon and artist and writer Claire Scott to document this research phase as he works towards seeking out future exhibition opportunities. On screen is a photograph of artist Owen O'Malley in a wheelchair wearing a stripy apron in the foreground. Behind him are 3 abstract storm paintings on easels. The paintings include layers of color in both bright, vivid tones and muted tones, with squiggly paintbrush strokes on top. Here is another example of an artist who also received the Research and Development Award, as it was formerly known. Diane Crotty is a theatre maker based in Dublin. With the support of Graffiti Theatre Company, Diane was funded to write and workshop a new script for young audiences. This was entitled Redbird and was about a girl who was accused of witchcraft at the Salem witch trials in 1692. Diane also worked with the dramaturg Cathal Maguire and received advice from Mary Murray of Spotlight Theatre School. On screen is a bright pink illustration of a girl in a floor-length skirt holding a toy rabbit by the ear. She wears a witch's hat, is hiding a magic wand behind her back, and smirking. The word witch and a pentagram are scratched above her. Next, I will talk about the Mentoring Award. Artists who wish to engage in mentoring opportunities can apply for up to €3,000. This funding is to provide mentoring with an experienced arts professional. Arts professionals can include artists, choreographers, curators, directors, producers, and people working for arts organizations. During your mentoring process, you must meet with your mentor at least 6 times. You will talk about issues in your practice and share information and advice. Here you can work with an arts professional to solve a problem you've identified in your practice. If you need help with finding a mentor, you can contact us. This funding can cover your fees, your travel costs in the Republic of Ireland, your mentor's fees, your mentor's travel costs in the Republic of Ireland. The one restriction around this funding is that only €1,500 can be spent on the mentor's fee at most. This is to ensure that you as the artist are paid for your time. Here is an example of an artist who received a mentoring award. Róisín is a visual artist and writer born in Switzerland and living in County Kildare. She completed a mentorship with Brian Maguire in 2022. For the mentorship, they held a series of critical conversations about her arts practice and its development. On screen is a painting entitled The Shadow by Róisín. It was painted in 2022, measures 80 by 80 centimeters, and is acrylic on board. It is very thickly painted and shows a portrait of a figure, possibly a woman with no hair, yellowish skin, and ears that stick out. The background is abstract, painted in shades of grey and blue. Above the figure's head is a thin line of orange paint stretching from one side of the painting to the other. A second mentoring example is Tadhg Kinsella, who is a Dublin-based multidisciplinary artist working as a musician and photographer. In 2021, Tadhg did a mentorship at Darkroom, a photography studio in Dublin with Mela Travers. They learned about Super 8 film and processing photos in a darkroom environment. On screen is an analog photograph entitled Pulled Apart by Tadhg Kinsella, taken in 2021 during their mentorship at Darkroom. The photograph was taken on black and white film and shows a close-up of the broken bark of a tree, revealing the rotten wood on the inside of the trunk. The grain of the wood is visible, and there is foliage in the background. The final award is the Training Award. Artists can apply for up to €1,000 for a training award. This funding is for artists who wish to engage in professional development and other learning opportunities. You could use this funding to attend classes, workshops, and short courses to learn skills in your art form. You could attend art events so that you can learn more about your art form and make connections with people working in the arts. You can also use it to apply for things like residencies and other professional development opportunities. If you prefer, you can approach an arts professional who has a skill that you want to learn, then tailor-make a training program with them that could be centered around things you want to learn in your practice. This funding can cover your training fees, your materials, your travel costs in the Republic of Ireland. Here is an example of an artist who received a training award. Rory O'Shea is a musician who also produces the Candlelit Tales podcast. For his training award, Rory completed a course at Walton's New School of Music. This consisted of 12 hours of one-to-one Irish traditional guitar lessons with professional tutor John Sweeney. On screen is a photo of Rory O'Shea playing his bouzouki for a YouTube recording in the summer of 2022. Rory is wearing a grey top with the sleeves rolled up, a black beaded necklace, and green pattern bandana. His eyes are closed, and he is playing the bouzouki with two microphones in front of him. In the background, there is a navy blue damask fabric. Here is another example of an artist who received a training award. Cecilia Bulow is a visual artist based in Dublin. She had a very straightforward training application. she wanted to attend a welding fabrication course that was being delivered by Mick O'Hara at the Fire Station Artist Studios, and this links back to her sculpture practice. On screen is a series of 4 images from an artwork called I Was Once a Liminal Daughter by Cecilia Bullo from 2020. 2 photos on the left and right show 2 bronze hares lying on their sides. There are delicate porcelain white flowers coming out of their bellies. In the center, there are 2 images. Above is an illustration of a cactus with one singular flower. Below is a photograph of the same plant. So, a reminder of the time frame. Round 1 opens on the 24th of March and will close on the 7th of May at 4 p.m. Round 2 opens on the 18th of August and will close on the 7th of October at 4 p.m. If you are applying to round 1, all of the activities in your application must happen between August 2025 and July 2026. If you are applying to round 2, all of the activities in your application must happen between January 2026 and December 2026. Next, I want to talk about the type of support that is on offer for you to make your application. You will find recordings of information sessions from previous years on Arts and Disability Ireland's YouTube and SoundCloud. For round 1, we have a live Come and Ask Questions session on Zoom on Wednesday the 9th of April from 12 noon to 1 p.m. For round 2, we have a live Come and Ask Questions session on Zoom on Wednesday the 3rd of September from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Arts and Disability Connect also offers one-on-one support to artists. We call this applicant support. Applicant support is for up to an hour of support, either on the phone, by Zoom, or by email. During this time, we can review a draft application and give feedback. You could also use this time to ask us questions and bounce ideas off us. The time is limited to 1 hour per artist to ensure we can support as many artists as possible. Information on how to book these is available on our website. From round 1 application support sessions will be available from the 10th of April until the 2nd of May. For round 2 applicant support sessions will be available from the 9th of September until the 3rd of October. If you are having trouble booking applicant support, please email connect@adiarts.ie. How to apply for the scheme. Step 1. Download the application form and guidelines from our website. Step 2. Choose the award you want to apply for. Read the guidelines and understand them fully. Step 3. Complete your application form. Step 4. Gather your application files together. This will include your application form, your arts practice CV, the CVs of the people you want to work with, which could include your presenting partner or any other people you've named in the application. It is very important to get letters of support from these people. Your application files will include examples of your own work. We recommend that you choose examples that are relevant to your application. Step 5. Once you have all those files together, send your application through WeTransfer, a file sharing website. In the application forms and guidelines, you will find step-by-step instructions on how to submit this. If you are not familiar with using WeTransfer, it's worth doing a little trial run with a friend or family member before the deadline so you get used to it. To wrap up, I want to leave you with the quote from Arts and Disability Connect recipient, Mairead Folan. Mairead says, "My advice for any present or future recipients of Arts and Disability Connect: think big, go out of your comfort zone, and the rewards will be in reach." That brings us to the end of the presentation. We want to give a big thank you to ISL interpreter Aoife Harrington from Bridge Interpreting. Thank you to the team at Stage Text for providing the captions. Thank you to Pádraig Naughton for his great work on the scheme. Thank you to the Arts Council and particularly the Arts Participation Team, including Anne O'Connor and Karen Whelan, who work with us on this scheme. If you have any questions, please do email us at connect@adiarts.ie. Thank you, everyone, and we look forward to reading your applications.